Randy Johnson starts us off with this one.
A little reminiscing here.
A little reminiscing, going down memory lane. Throws a couple of wild pitches against John Kruk and Larry Walker. Johnson sails a pitch over Kruk's head in the '93 All-Star Game. Kruk was the first victim, and then Walker gets the same treatment here 4 years later. 1997 All-Star Game, Johnson throws a wild pitch, and Walker decides to turn his helmet backwards and bat righty. Okay, so we're switching things up. Johnson smiles at Walker, batting righty right there after one pitch from the right side. Walker moves back over to his lefty side. Johnson appeared in 10 All-Star games.
Number 9, July 11th, 1989. Bo Jackson at the plate while President Ronald Reagan looks on. Here's Vin Scully with the call.
He's remarkable, and look at that one. Bo Jackson says hello.
Those fans risking their lives for the ball. Jackson will go on to win the MVP.
Coming in at number 8, July 9th, 2002. Torrey Hunter robs Barry Bonds of a home run right here. It only took one inning for Hunter to electrify the Milwaukee crowd right here. Just going up to rob Bonds of the homer. Bonds can't do anything but laugh. He's smiling. He's like, oh, I mean, it's a great catch.
Yeah.
Like,
give respect where it's due.
You know, I got to give him his props. Bonds grabbed Hunter and threw him over his shoulder before smiling and just running away after that.
July 8th, 1941, Ted Williams hits a walk-off home run with the American League down to its final out and trailing 5-4. Williams hit a walk-off 3-run homer, gave the AL a 7-5 win over the National League.
How about July 19th, 1971? Mr. October hits the lights. Reggie Jackson smashed a home run off a light standard on the roof at Tiger Stadium right there. Reggie Jackson wasn't Mr. October yet, but he was still a star, obviously. Able to do that, just knock out the lights inside of the park. I mean, why don't you?
All right, how about 2025, July 15th, after being tied 6-6 after 9 innings, we go to the first ever swing-off. NL manager Dave Roberts sends out Kyle Schwarber as their second batter, and Schwarber delivered, going 3 for 3 with all 3 swings being home runs. A clutch performance by Schwarber, hitting Schwarber bombs. NL wins it 7-6 after the first swing-off tiebreaker.
Coming in at number 4, July 10th, 2001, Cal Ripken Jr. starts his final All-Star game at shortstop. Alex Rodriguez opted to switch positions before the game, which allowed Ripken Jr. to play where he played most of his career rather than third base. So Ripken Jr. would then homer right here on the first pitch that he saw. Take a look at it in the third inning. Eventually win MVP, and Ripken Jr. is one of 5 players to win multiple All-Star Game MVPs. Willie Mays, Steve Garvey, Gary Carter, and Mike Trout on that list.
All right, how about July 10th, 1934? Carl Hubble punches out 5 Hall of Famers. Yeah, we got tape of everything.
We went into the archives.
Sat down Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Jimmy Fox, Al Simmons, Joe Cronin in order in the first 2 innings. That was MLB's second All-Star Game.
That was 1934. That's insane. July 14th, 1970, Pete Rose barrels over Ray Fosse right here. Bottom of the 12th, Rose rounds third base and plows into Fosse to score. The winning run for the National League right there is, are we watching baseball or football? Does that look like a running back just trucking a defender?
America's sports. That's all that matters.
America's sports.
All right, July 13th, 1999. Ted Williams honored at Fenway Park, and Pedro Martinez wins MVP. Williams was featured as one of the players of the All-Century team. Pre-game, Williams, greeted by the players on the field, asked Mark McGwire if he ever smelled smoke off his bat when he hit the ball. And Martinez would strike out 5 of the 6 batters he faced. Over 2 hitless innings, he will go on to win All-Star MVP.